Hey everyone! For today's video, we're talking about the top UX research methods. So by the end of the video, you'll know all about the most important user research methods and be ready to get started on your next research project. I'm Hillary, Education Lead at Maze. Okay, let's get started. UX research methods are ways of generating and gathering insights about your users, their behavior, and needs. The ultimate goal of research is to identify challenges and opportunities for improvement within your product's user experience. That might be through gathering user feedback, testing usability, generating ideas, or evaluating a product. There's a lot of different UX research methods, and the method you'll want to go with depends on your project, what stage of development you're in, and what goals and resources you have on hand. So, what UX research methods are there? In this video, we'll go over 9 key methods you should know about when developing a new product or improving an existing one. In no particular order, let's take a look. First up, let's talk about user interviews. User interviews allow you to gather insights through conversation, and it's one of the go-to techniques for UX researchers. They're ideal for gathering qualitative data as they get into the depths of pain points, opinions, and feelings. But you can also gather quantitative data depending on what questions you ask and how you format your interview. One of the perks of user interviews is their flexibility and the fact that you can react in the moment according to what your interviewees say. Unlike some other methods where follow-up questions happen later, you can adjust your interview and dig deeper into topics right then and there, giving you a chance to get richer insights within an answer's original context. As with all research, the value of your data really depends on the value of your questions. So it's worth spending time ahead of your interviews and getting confident with what you want to ask and how you want to ask it. The next research method is field study. The standout point here is that this method takes place in the test participant's own environment. While other methods may happen in a lab or office-based setting, field studies take place, unsurprisingly, in the field. This makes them a great way to uncover insights around how your product is used and learn about the user experience in an authentic environment. By observing your user and product on site, you can get a broader picture of your user and see the context within which your product operates. This allows you to gather more useful, actionable insights to take away. You might opt for a field study when context is crucial, like if you're building software that doctors use in a hospital. In that case, you need to see how that software works when it's being used in a realistic environment with real users. So a field study is ideal. The downside of field studies is that they can be pricey, as you may need to cover costs for travel or accommodations. However, they're well worth the investment if you're looking to garner a deeper glimpse into your users' lives and see the context around how your product operates. Next, we have one of the most versatile research techniques on this list, card sorting. In a card sort, participants are given cards with different information, topics, or ideas on them, and they have to group them together into different categories based on what makes sense to them. You can use physical index cards, pieces of paper, or an online card sorting tool. Ultimately, by studying how users organize and group the cards presented to them, you can uncover things like users' mental models, how people approach your product, how they feel about different concepts or ideas, and where they'd expect to find certain content. This makes card sorting a great UX research method for gathering ideas on how to structure information architecture, or simply to get inspiration for things like content categorization or naming conventions. If you're looking to learn more about card sorting, check out our guide, which has more in-depth info, like the types of card sorting, how to conduct your study, and how to analyze the results. We'll link it in the description below. Number 4 on our list is tree testing, a UX research method where users are given a text-only version of a product's information architecture and are asked to complete tasks which require them to navigate this. Seeing how easily and efficiently users can do this allows you to assess things like findability, labeling, content grouping and hierarchy, and the overall usability of the information architecture. While both tree testing and card sorting are methods that help categorize content and assess information architecture, they do offer different angles of insight and can both be used at different stages in product development. The two methods work best in tandem, but what you want to do first depends on your project and goals. For example, if you're looking to redesign existing information architecture, then you should tree test first to assess what currently works and how usable the existing navigation is. Then you can use card sorting to structure the new navigation and learn what information your users want kept together or reorganized. However, if you're building a new product from scratch, you might want to use a card sort first to define and plan the information architecture, followed by tree testing to review the usability of your navigation design. So while they might seem like similar methods at first glance, it's a good idea to factor in time to do both to maximize your evaluation. Coming in at number 5, we have usability testing. It's safe to say that usability testing is invaluable when it comes to UX research. During the test, participants are asked to complete a set of tasks using the product in question, allowing you to then review if they were able to navigate and use the product easily, aka its usability. The overall goal of usability testing is to understand whether you're building an intuitive product that's easily understood. But it can also be a crucial technique in uncovering issues, flaws, and development bugs. For example, if you're designing an online retail site and want to assess how easily users can add something to their cart and navigate to checkout, usability testing would be the method to go with. Usability testing can be moderated or unmoderated, qualitative or quantitative. And there's multiple techniques you can choose from depending on what data you hope to gather or if there's a specific part of the product you're focusing on. Understanding whether your product is usable and intuitive is a crucial part of any product development. So it's important to conduct usability testing early and often, as so much can change between different iterations and design stages. Our next method is diary research. Diary studies are a self-reporting longitudinal method, which take place over an extended period of time and work by tasking participants with keeping a diary to record their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors while using a product. Normally used to collect qualitative data, users will log specific information about activities and their experience using the product being studied. Diary types include physical journals, video logs, or a variety of online tools. You also have to choose between an open, free-form diary, where participants can record what and when they like, or a closed, structured diary with specific questions and timings. Similar to field studies, the biggest value of diary research is its ability to give organic insights in real time. An example of when you might use a diary study would be if you want to know when users listen to podcasts and what circumstances surround that activity. Diary studies help tell the story of how products fit into a user's daily life and offer a window into the reality of how, why, and when users interact with products. So it's a great method if you want to gather those authentic, contextual insights. Surveys are one of the most frequently used research methods, and it's easy to see why. They're a great way to collect both quantitative and qualitative data, or do generative or evaluative research. Plus, they're relatively simple and inexpensive to put together. And because of their lack of moderator, you can set up the survey and leave it to collect data while your focus is elsewhere. Being a remote research method is a big perk if you're looking to tap into a wider participant pool or want to connect with users who may otherwise be left out of traditional in-person research. An ideal time to use surveys is after someone uses your product, as their experience will be fresh in their mind. So whether you're looking to gather quantitative or qualitative data on opinions or preferences, or specific feedback on new features, surveys are a great method to opt for. Much like other unmoderated methods, the thing that has the most impact is the questions you ask. It's imperative that you're being intentional in both what you ask and how you ask it, so as to not impact the answers. To maximize the insights you collect and minimize any mistakes, it can be worth reading up on how to construct and conduct the ultimate user survey. We'll link our guide to this below. At number 8, we've got focus groups. This is a broadly qualitative method, but can be used for evaluative or generative research depending on your topics. Focus groups consist of gathering a small group of users who are of similar demographics and asking them questions in a moderated setting, then reviewing what they say and do. This might include studying things like user responses, beliefs, opinions, and feedback. Focus groups are typically carried out as face-to-face meetings, but they can also be conducted remotely through specific research tools or just a simple video conferencing platform. As a UX research method, focus groups are often used in market research and are a great way to understand how users perceive or feel about your product or concept, what they think about certain features or preferences they have, and any challenges they might experience. So you might want to use a focus group if you're gathering user comments on a potential new feature for an existing product, or to get immediate feedback on a concept for a brand new product. The length of a session and number of participants can vary between research projects, but the sweet spot sits around 2 hours, with a moderator speaking to about 5 to 10 users. As with all qualitative research, the data you collect is only as good as the preparation. So it's worth thinking closely about what you want to discuss. Ensure you have things like clear set goals in mind and open-ended, unbiased questions. Last but not least, we've got 5-second testing. This method is pretty much what it sounds like. Participants are given 5 seconds to view an image of a design or web page. Then they're asked questions to gauge their first impressions and see what stuck out to them. The 5-second test was devised based on research that says over half of visitors only spend less than 15 seconds on a website. So grabbing attention early on is essential. This method is a great way to quickly determine what information users perceive from your product or design and what impressions they have based on a brief look. It's ideal for assessing things like whether your messaging is effective, if the design is clear, and how users feel about that design. One ideal way to use 5-second testing would be if you're considering a rebrand and want to test the reactions of users seeing your newly designed homepage or logo. But ultimately, 5-second tests are a perfect method to sprinkle throughout your development process, as they can be a good benchmark as you iterate through designs, work on different prototypes, or trial new messaging. Right, that is the end of our top 9 UX research methods. We hope you found the video helpful and have been inspired to try out a new method for your next research project. If you're interested in learning more about any of the methods mentioned, take a look at the description below for further reading and links to all the resources mentioned in the video. See you again soon.